Listen, every champion, every person, you've seen two things in regards to the whole breakdown, especially during the NBA finals. They have a game plan. You know, OKC and the Indiana Pacers, they had a plan for the NBA finals. They didn't get there by accident. They didn't just show up with the talent by himself. And no, it had to do something with coaching. They had to have mentorship. They had to have some type of chemistry. Welcome to the live virtual conversations with Adriane Mays. And we have the opportunity to literally know that real talk, real stories, and we come together with purpose. And the whole process, faith meeting freedom, we're empowering real estate professionals to transform their personal journey to a powerful marketing tool by learning how to tell their story, being authentic, trust ideal clients, increasing invisibility online. But we're honestly not just talking real estate. We're talking real results. We're talking real stories, and we're turning these experiences into an empire. And that's the whole goal of us getting here together. But what can we expect today in regards to this powerhouse that we have coming in here today is the leading to the 7-day quick start playbook to authentic lead generation. Zack Jenkins, my partner in the Passion Over Profits program, we're not doing things alone. We're actually making sure that the process and everything comes together and in line. But, I want you to go ahead and download the QuickBook. And I'm going to go ahead and post on the screen here the actual link for you to download the playbook. I'm making changes, just like I was sharing, Zack, just a moment ago. But the great thing is, it's how to build your brand. It's how to show up when you're not sleeping. So today's live, Zack Jenkins with Kingdom Growth Partners. And the power of the story, he was sharing with me, he's actually investing in regards to real estate and understanding how this whole system and his blueprint allowed him to be where he is. But play along. If you're tuning in live or if you're watching a replay, what's one piece of advice that you would actually give your younger self? And we're going to ask Zack Jenkins this today in regards to the whole process. I mean, he is a powerhouse that we can actually take away in so many gems in regards to the conversation. And describe your brand in the comments for me as well. One word, what that would be. We're going to touch base with Zack here today and get those questions answered and understand how this amazing entrepreneur is just so humble in this process. Like, I'm going to be honest, when I actually looked at Zack and looked at his process in regards to just killing it in the Passion Over Profits game, I was so intrigued with his story. And so, of course, I did my due diligence and saw that, his Facebook was amazing. He had the name of his company, Kingdom Growth Partners. That was amazing, where he's helping real estate professionals, 7-figure real estate coaches in 6 months or less, 200,000, 30 days from launch, 400,000 per month in under 90 days. Now, I'm on day 400 of the billionaire journey. So just doing this research on who our special guest is today, like I said, he got into the game in regards to real estate, not by being a realtor or a real estate professional. He's a coach. He's an investor. And he's investing his time with us here today. And not only did he do that with me, not too long ago, actually a few days ago, Chaz, which is one of the guys here that has this podcast, the name of the church is Pop, which is amazing too. But it's a church in mental health. And we're going to talk a little bit about this podcast that Zack was on as well, making instrumental change for men in mental health. Because again, you're not in this journey alone. And how all of these things come together, I had to go ahead and make sure if you don't do anything, I love me, but make sure you take a look at this actual podcast, because again, what is so instrumental, the jewels that they're dropping in regards to this information. I'm not a man, but my actual therapist is a male. The group therapy that I go to is a male, but hearing other people and hearing their story, I was so impressed by just and honored to have Zack on this actual call here today. So to further ado, I want to bring my brother on the actual stage here, Zack Jenkins. What up, though? Adriane Mays. Of course, I thank you, my friends, so much for just being a part of this journey in regards to having the AI, having our like minds in the Passion Over Profits, having mentorship, and even taking it to the next step and just saying yes to me. I want to jump right in, and the flow is going to be real simple and easy. Like I said, it's not going to be, you guys did great on your Pop podcast, by the way. We'll talk about that at the end, like the formality of it, but we're going to talk real simple and easy, just a little bit about your story, how important it is to show up and being authentic, how AI has played a part into that, and then, we'll wrap it home with something fun called the top 5. Okay, so you ready for me, Zack?
I'm ready for you, and I'm honored to be here. I appreciate the introduction, but more importantly, Adriane, you're actually making a difference. So it's an honor to be with you.
I appreciate that, my friend. And there's so many different things I heard on the podcast. I was like, oh my gosh, is this God aligning things in ways that I didn't even imagine? That's what's the whole fun thing about this whole thing called life, right? So I want to jump right in with you, Zack, and ask you a quick question in regards to your story and just being authentic. Now, are you, in regards to your breakout moment, and can you take us back to a moment when you realized your story, your journey, the things that you've been through, that was honestly what you can bring to the table when you help your clients, your family, and everything that you're about?
I would say the breakout moment for me, and I'm going to go back a number of years, okay? Because when I started, to try to keep this as short and sweet as possible, when my wife and I started, which I will say my wife is instrumental in anything that I do, but what I realized, probably going back to 2018, actually, moving into 2019, I was in the corporate world. I'd made great money, but my kids had to come to the office to eat lunch with me. I worked 16 to 20-hour days, not even exaggerating. And I was also very young at the time, and so I was leading a large team, and I realized through that time that regardless of where you're at, you can always be coached. And then in 2019, I said, you know what, I'm done with the corporate world. We moved out of our home that we had. We moved in with my wife's grandparents to start our very first business. And I'll never forget, it was Thanksgiving of 2019. I was on the road from Georgia to Florida, and I told my wife, I walked out to our property, and I said, if this thing works, I'm going to Florida and we're going to do this, with no backup plan. And that was our first real business that we started. We did have a small business that paid for our quote unquote toys back in 2012 through 14. We kind of did it on the weekend side hustle, if you will. Mm-hmm. But where I'm going with that is we had no backup plan. 2019 moving into 2020. And I wish I had some before pictures to share with you. We had this rinky-dink setup. We were in the landscaping world, and I said, we're going to go make a difference, and we're going to serve people. Okay. And what I really quickly realized, because we were in a saturated market, well, saturated to some, but what I realized was people were not paying us for our service. They were paying us for us and the convenience we provided them. So when we did maintenance accounts, for prime example, is that they were not paying for us to come take care of their home. The husband did not want to do it, and so we were providing that service to them. And then in 2021, we met who I can comfortably say our very first mentor. Actually, it was 2020, not a paid mentor, but we walked in his office, and I originally was like, oh, this dude's just out for a sale. Like that's right. What we were making, the largest purchase of our life at that point in time for our business. And I was like, he's out for the sale. And then I realized when that happened after the sale, he was the same person as before, and he really poured into us. And then from 2020 all the way through 2023, we had some employees and people that would come to us and they're like, Zack, how did you do this? And how did you do that? And how did you do this? I just didn't give up, man. And it's cliche, and it's hard for some to realize, but that's when I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. If I had a mentor that could show me the ropes, I would be so much further ahead. The best way to serve people is to coach them. If you have a story to tell, and really, facts tell, stories sell, and your story is so similar to so many other people's.
And that's so amazing that, I mean, just it sounds so simple, right? It sounds like, but the key thing about it is so many people don't understand how important it is to have those like minds that are working towards a goal. And, at the end of the day, just what that looks like, right? So that's the crazy thing. So like, tell me in regards to what led you to Passion Over Profits, or the POP program that we're in regards to, just kind of how what even led you to join this whole Passion Over Profits? And I'm gonna bring it up as well.
Yeah. So number one, I can sit here and say that Passion Over Profits has been absolutely amazing. So when I first came into the internet marketing world back in 2023, my wife and I sold our business. I went into the internet marketing world, and I really was there to affect change.
Mm-hmm.
But what I very quickly realized was that most people, not all, but most people were not there to affect change. They were there to affect their own pocketbooks, right?
Yep.
And so I connected with Daniel. I don't even remember. It had to have been a year. It had to have been a year and a half or 2 years ago. And maybe not even that long ago. I connected with him. I'm like, who is this guy?
Right.
You know, and actually it couldn't have been 2 years ago now that I think about it. So long story short, I'm like, who is this guy? Him and I communicated back and forth quite often until I finally was like, you know what? Let me see what's in here. I consulted with my current business partner. Her name is Cynthia. And I'm like, I think there's something here.
Right.
And she's been crucial as well, Cynthia, that is in helping drive the ball forward, because she comes from a very astute business background, but the mindset is just locked tight. She worked with Bob Proctor. And so I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, there's something here. And then once I got into Passion Over Profits, I'm like, holy crap, this is great. Like, there's so much stuff in there that it's crazy. And there's programs out there that charge 15, 20, 30,000 for less information than what Passion Over Profits offers. Seriously.
And I agree, because and it's so funny because I look at when I look at where we are now, and you know, being in a couple of months, and it's so much information. Seriously, like in regards to the things that they provide, we haven't even scratched the surface. So it's like I feel like there's no excuses that we can make in regards to if this works or not. But you know, how has it helped in regards to just your business in itself, and you know, that decision that changed everything for you to even jump onto, like you said, social media being such instrumental in our growth process? What made it so, you know, just even to find a Daniel or find an opportunity to actually look into something like this?
So I love the real estate world.
Right.
And I had someone tell me probably 8 months ago, and I still, just a nugget for everybody listening, I still feel highly underqualified to even share my story. And so I've stayed off of social media for a long time. I didn't even have social media until 2016. Okay. And so I got on social media and didn't use it for a number of years. And then what clicked for me, so I started following the Passion Over Profits. I'm like, wait a minute. If I do these simple tasks, I'm going to get this reward. You know, someone asked me the other day, like, does Passion Over Profits work? I'm like, do you follow instructions? They're like, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, then you're fine, right? Right. So, and then and by myself, I realized a couple months ago, I'm like, wait a minute. I looked at my stats across TikTok. I love TikTok, by the way. I looked at stats from TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. My reach collectively was 89,000 people in a 30-day period. And I didn't even know what I was doing. And so I was like, wait a minute, everybody's waiting for a chance to tell their story. They have a chance. And so what I started with a number of months ago, somebody was like, Zack, social media is your billboard. That is your digital real estate. Your brand is your digital real estate, because the way the world's moving when it comes to AI, if someone goes to Chat GPT and says, who is this person? And you pop up, boom, instant credibility right there in that moment. Chat GPT knows who you are because people are using it to search who you are. And now I've noticed, I've had some help with the social media, extensive help, and they follow the Passion Over Profits motto. And we're probably this month alone, reach wise, we're probably at 250,000 across all platforms.
Nice.
And so again,
what's your TikTok handle, so I can bring that up while you're talking as well?
Zack Jenkins 93.
Okay.
I don't even have it. I really don't even have it business oriented. It's just me and my life and me talking. But I've been, I don't know, every video I put out generally will hit right around 800 to 1,000 views. I stay really consistent. And the other day I had one hit 11,000.
Nice.
So it's been interesting, and it's a way for me to tell my story to other people without feeling pressured to tell my story. I just whip my phone out, record a video, post it. Don't even care what it looks like. You know, and again, it's who I am.
But you know what? So talk about that process though, real quick though. Seriously, Zack, because again, I literally had somebody yesterday in our group Fion. And so she's never been on social media. And, you know, she was like, Adriane, and this is seriously the reason I had to go back and change my change my playbook because of her. So she literally hit me in the DMs, and it was so funny you asked me that the other day about the DMs, but she hit me on the DM and was like, Adriane, what do I say? I'm like, just go talk. Like, what's going on in your life right now? Just go be honest and authentic, and your brand will actually just attract to you. And so she did that, and then it just inspired her to actually just tell her story. And she's a preschool teacher in Passion Over Profits. But like, you know how our outgoing personalities are. We just reach, people just gravitate to us type thing. So seriously, talk about, even doesn't matter about a playbook. It doesn't matter, because of course I'm going to show people how to get to the playbook or in the whole process. But the key thing is, you hit a button and you have a cell phone, you have a laptop, and you go live. How important is it really to have, do you have to invest in all these courses? Do you have to understand the structure? Like, when you did it and got out your shell, like, how important is it just to be you? It's a great question.
It's crucial. It's crucial. And you know what? Sometimes it hurts. And what I mean by that is, I used to think, for anybody listening, we have this running joke in my house. When I hit 3,000 followers on Facebook, my son, I'm going to let him egg me. So he asks me every day. But when I started being my authentic self,
right,
my follower count went down, but now it's going up because people were flushing themselves out, and now people are coming back up. And so TikTok's been one of the most difficult to get followers on. It's been the most difficult. And so my thing about all that is authenticity attracts everybody and everything. And so again, it's a matter of just, what's the worst that can happen? People don't watch it. It doesn't matter to me. It wasn't for them. It's for me.
Right.
It's something that I really, and this is how I run the TikTok, Instagram, everything. I look back on it and I'm like, hey, if I were to die tomorrow, I want my kids to be able to grab a computer or a phone and go watch videos of their father. And social media provides me the platform to be able to do exactly that.
I love that, Zach. That's awesome. And really, honestly, it's crazy that amazing page, by the way. Just, you're doing great. In regard, what made you cut your beard? Like, that is so awesome.
It was a God thing. He told me it was time to get rid of it. So
really, really. Oh my God, I love the beard. That's awesome.
Well, my big goal and what I really want to do is plant churches globally. So okay. I've been trying to focus in on that, and yeah, it was just time to get rid of it. So definitely a different look. Definitely a different look.
I know it's an attention grabber, that's for sure.
Yes.
So in regards to how your identity shifted, we talked a little bit about your story, and it mentally, I had this mindset, this whole thing, I can, I will, I shall be victorious. Like, if I get in my rough days, our rough moments, talk to a little bit. Do you have something like mindset wise that motivates you in those times that, that it's tough? Like, life is tough in itself, right? So do you have something that motivates you and gets you through those tough moments?
And actually I talked about this on the podcast Saturday that was released Monday, and it was really, I have to shift in that even when things are going bad, I'm like, where is the good in this crisis? Because if I look back on my life, and changing your mindset, again, it sounds cliche, it sounds woo-woo, it sounds all this weird stuff, and I used to think people were crazy, but going back and looking at my journey, it's been one of the biggest shifts that I can make to actually continue to excel. And I also personally believe, a lot of times people talk about, what is your why? And myself personally, I used to say my why is my family, and that's what drives me. Okay. Here's the truth of the matter. As a father, as a husband, as a man, I feel, now please don't misunderstand this, but taking care of my family is my obligation. Right. So yes, that is also my why, but I need something beyond that. that's what keeps me going, and knowing that whatever bad's happening today, it's going to be used for good somewhere, some way, somehow. And I might not know for 5 years why did I go through the bad, but that's okay. Because when it clicks, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's exactly why I went through that season of my life.
I really want people to check out that podcast, because again, I'm going to put the link actually here in the comments, because you know what, the key thing I loved about this podcast is you guys are so authentic. It's so scary for men sometimes to just even be able to just be honest in regards to their journey. And literally what led you to the Pentecostal church, your friend actually committed suicide. And led you there, right? In regards to the church. Am I incorrect in that?
Nope, that's correct.
So when I watch these things, like I was telling you before we got started, and I have to drop this link because this YouTube was freaking amazing. Please, men, like I'm not a man, so please watch this, because again, it helps you in regards to getting your journey started. But in regards to that whole shift, and now you have like Chaz and all these other individuals that you can actually relate and be humble with, and that's the one reason that he reached out to you, was your humility. So I really watched it. But I was so impressed in regards to, I just, if you don't feel comfortable, just tell me, but I just told you I'm 18 months sober in my journey in regards to addiction and things of that nature. How important is it to kind of let people see the before you, the right now, and then the what happens afterwards when you actually get the help in regards to helping and the growth? How important is it to just show up and be yourself through everything? Seriously.
It's super important. And really, I used to hide that addiction away, that I was in recovery. I hid it away for so long. But my wife, she's been with me since high school. So she's seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the worst, and the today. And so, but she would tell everybody. Right. Because she knew I don't care if she talks about it, but I did not want to talk about it. And so, because I felt like I was less of a person and less qualified.
Right.
Now I think people that have gone through trials and tribulations are the most qualified, but that's neither here nor there. But it's super crucial, because what I noticed was it opened doors for me. So at our church, we recently just finished a small group season. And one of the small groups that my wife and I put together was a testimony night. So we just come together to share our testimonies.
Okay.
And what I noticed through the very first night that we did it, somebody was like, wow, I did not know someone else around me had been through what I've been through. And so with that being said, I believe it's so crucial to not bury that away, because if you're burying it away, you're not actually dealing with it. And again, be yourself, because what's it matter? Like, if they don't like you, they don't like you. They can just keep on going. So it's only actually been over the past couple of years where I've been more open about my recovery, simply because, Kayla was like, hey, my wife was like, hey, this is important to people, and people need to hear about it.
And I Googled your church and everything else. Like, it was so like, just to see, because I have my own foundation, and the like minds of how God aligns things and the right people, and seeing that you guys, of course, did the mental health thing. I'm big on mental health as well as the giving away, and being able to be there, even through, like, it was so many tidbits to empower other men that you're doing and involved in. So Zack, kudos to you, because again, it's these type of conversation. Hopefully someone will be browsing, late at night, and they might feel alone, and hear something that triggers them to maybe get the help that they need, and maybe watch a YouTube, because it's like 2 hours of content. You guys are just being really raw and authentic in regards to, letting people know that there's help out here. So, I mean, I applaud you seriously because I honestly talk about real estate and my mission to help people in the DMs, but the real estate in your mind is something that is, and it's so if you let people take up free space in your mind and not tackle those issues, everything else just doesn't even matter. But let's talk a little bit real quick about Kingdom Growth Partners and your amazing coaching program and things that you have going, in regards to that part of your business as well. And that's where you got the AI chatbot, right? Is that
right?
Where that's okay?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And what I'll say every time I talk to my mom, I'm like, don't let people rent space in your head for free. I tell her that all the time because my mom's mad about that. I'm like, hey, charge them rent. If they're going to be in there, charge them rent.
Right.
It was a couple years ago. No, maybe about a year ago now, where myself and Cynthia, which is a partner in Kingdom Growth Partners, and she and I were actually, we started in the internet marketing world together on the same day on the same offer back in 2023.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, and so we kind of played each other's accountability partner because we were hitting the phones, we were doing sales. I mean, it was dog eat dog world. And so unfortunately, like a lot of other things in the online world, that kind of fizzled away. And so I was looking for what's next. And through that period, I felt really down and out because I felt like it was my own. I'm big on extreme ownership. And so even if I don't have control over the situation, I still feel like it's my burden to carry, which is a whole nother conversation in itself because it's super unhealthy, but it is what it is. And so we ended up having Cynthia called me and said, hey, I'm doing some consulting for an online offer and would love to kind of see you jump on board and help out with this. And that's actually our largest case study. So I came on board, built a ton of automations. I did a lot of the original sales calls because I wanted to learn, get in the mix and just get in the groove of it.
Right.
And so I realized that the problem is most people do not leverage automation the right way. They automate, but they don't automate the way they should automate. And it's not a matter of getting rid of employees. It's a matter of assisting the employees. And so that particular offer was doing right around 20-ish thousand a month. And at that point in time, we brought them up to the 400,000 mark. And unfortunately for us, it was like what you see online so often. They're not together. And so that's when we're like, hey, we have something here. We literally took this 20x'd it in a very short period of time with just a few tweaks. And then someone else reached out and said, hey, I heard what's going on. I want you to take care of us. And that's where Kingdom Growth Partners was born from, actually.
Oh, nice.
And so we have slowed down. We were offering like super in-depth solutions and all kinds of stuff, but it's very taxing. And we've actually, and this will speak to the testament and the power of passion over profits. We have slowed down more of the done for you model. And now we're focusing more of our efforts on the done with you through passion over profits.
There it is.
It's so much simpler and it provides a very high level of service and it's easier for us to take a breather at that point in time.
You got to breathe, right? And it's so funny, like a lot of these different funnels and things that you see, you're actually looking to get on the phone. And I come from the real estate background and insurance and getting on the phone and booking calls and the run around with that or what have you. I don't want to get on the phone, which is my prerogative. That's why I built the DM method. Like because again, like I'd rather coach somebody in the DM and I will get on the phone, but I prefer, I've done it for so long. It's my choice. But like how crazy is how much is Chat GPT instrumental in your AI process and when you're coming up with your systems and things like that? Like how do you guys use Chat GPT or how do you?
It's a crucial part. It's a super crucial part. And we've actually recently taken a step further and we're leveraging a few other softwares in conjunction with Chat GPT. And it's crucial. And what I love about the DMs and the messaging side is it's so simple. It takes up almost no brain space, especially with AI and leveraging it appropriately. I'm a huge fan of it, but I also know that it can be dangerous if it's not used appropriately. Because you don't have to think for yourself,
right?
But it's a crucial part, and it can take, for example, and I mentioned this to you before we jumped on, that I was working on building a voice agent to do the calls, and once I figured it out, I can literally build a voice agent within 30 minutes that performs at a high level. That would have taken ungodly amounts of time. Just even a year ago, even 6 months ago, It would have taken an ungodly amount of time. And now literally just leveraging Chat GPT because it knows code. And the way I've structured it is, hey, who are the top coders that you, Chat GPT, know of in the industry? Here's the people that are top coders. Cool. So I want you to pretend as if you are them and build XYZ code. And that's how it pumps it out. And it works. Most of the time, it works beautifully with a few tweaks, especially with the DM stuff. The fact of the matter is I can click a button and get a response in the flash of a finger.
And that's the crazy though. And there's so many people that are not even using it yet. Like that part for me is so mind boggling because that's why I try to bring it up every single time as much as possible. Because again, why not? Why not have your own assistant in regards to growth and consistency and understanding automation and giving yourself a break? So I literally know that I'm going over my time with you. I love you, Zack, but I do respect your time as well. So I wanted to go through real quick the top 5, something fun that we do just, because like I said, you being an investor in regards to this game in itself, people that want to reach out to you, they want to know who you are as well. And it's, so we can talk about AI and that fun stuff and of course the program and mentorship, but you got to eat, right? So my number one of the top 5 that I ask everyone that comes on to the live virtual conversations with Adriane Mays, that's me, is what's the number one food? Like if you could eat the same food every week with not about weight, no type of barriers, what would that food be?
That's a really good question. That food would be steak. That food would be steak. Or actually maybe ribs. We'll go with ribs.
Ribs? Okay.
Yeah, I can eat it so many different ways. Yeah. Ribs.
I love it. So are you a barbecue? You cook ribs and stuff?
Okay. Yes. Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. I didn't used to be, but I learned. Thank you. Yeah. I didn't used to be, but I learned how to a couple years ago.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So which brings me to the next question. Where is home for you originally? And where do you call home now? Because I know you mentioned something about Florida and Arizona in the podcast, but where's home for you? And then where's home now?
So home is actually Florida, Sarasota, Manatee County area. So I was born in Key West, raised in I guess that'd be Central Florida, Manatee, Sarasota area, not far from Tampa. And now home is Arizona. We're in the beautiful area of Phoenix, and it's a massive city, which is awesome. But no, we really enjoy Arizona.
Daniel's in Arizona as well. Daniel Chou, so you got to connect with him.
Yep. He's only a few hours from me, I believe. So yeah.
See, that's crazy. I'm in Detroit. What up though? So Detroit, Michigan is where I am from, but I love traveling. I'm into 48 out of the 50 states, and which brings me to my next question. Like, where's your favorite place that you've traveled to and why?
Thailand, definitely. And it's because the people were genuine, they were nice, and it's a slower paced environment. So we're actually planning, we're trying to go back in the next couple of months. We'll see if we can swing it and make it happen because we have a lot going on. But yeah, Thailand is definitely, yeah. If we actually looked at houses over there last time we visited. So Thailand is amazing.
Would you move? Would you relocate to Thailand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. If God opened the doors and said go, yeah, we would go. Yeah.
I literally posted, I went to Sorrento, Italy. It was actually 7 years ago yesterday type thing for my niece's graduation. And it's just amazing what you miss out on if you don't travel. Like just the culture, like you said, people being authentic, nice, and that type of thing. But my favorite place, honestly, I used to live in Toronto, and my cousin played for the Toronto Raptors, that kind of thing. So the T-Dot, they have so many different cultures and things of that nature that is literally, even it being just right across the way in Canada, it's still my second home, 100%. So my next question now, what holiday or season do you look forward to in most every year? And then your why?
I would say Thanksgiving is number one.
Okay.
And that's primarily because that's my wife's favorite one. But it brings out, a lot of times it brings out the best in people because they're really providing, most people are very thankful during that time period. But Christmas is like a really close second. And, but Thanksgiving is probably the best because people are really grateful around that time, which I think is important.
Okay, love that, love that. And I literally used to say Thanksgiving too, because I have my foundation of 15 years, CCC Because We Care Foundation, and that was when, like you said, people are nicer around that time, right? Giving but last week I had a guy on my podcast, Jimmy Millen, and he literally is in the journey with us as well in regards to sobriety. He said his sobriety date is his best holiday. And I was like, I'm changing my answer. Like,
interesting.
Because I honestly, you know what? November 20th, 2023 is my sobriety date. And I honestly can say that I see the difference in myself. And in regards to other people, being of service, being able to be the best version of myself, you know, even around, I honestly changed my day. That's my answer now, is my sobriety date, which is November 20th. So I love that, you know, it's just focusing on what we can do and control. And that's one day at a time for me. And I'm now learning how to share that message with so many people, which brings me to the next and last final question. If you could actually recommend one book or movie that you literally changed your mindset, you know, because like I said, I'm on this billionaire journey, and this is day 400. Isn't that kind of cool? But if you could recommend one book that would change your mindset, what would you say that would be in regards, or movie?
The movie is The Secret.
Okay. John Grisham?
I'm not sure who wrote it.
Okay.
I know it's called The Secret. It's on YouTube. That much I do know. I actually had my wife and kids watch it with me. We watched it as a family, and wow. But probably the best book, it's actually sitting right there, is The Greatest Salesman in the World. It's amazing. It's by Og Mandino. So yeah, that movie, right? I'm pretty sure it's that movie right there.
This is The Secret? Okay, yeah, this is that, The Law of Attraction, because, you know,
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to check that out. And you said, what was the book that you said to, Zach?
The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino.
The Greatest Salesman in the World. Oh, wow. Okay, see, I learned 2 new ones here today. Thank you for this. I love to expand my mindset too in regards to opportunities of growth mentally, because education is the one thing that people can't take from you. And I've learned that weapon so fiercely. And so mine has still been, though, Robert Kiyosaki, you know, What They Don't Tell You About Money, understanding how money works, and Tax-Free Wealth, you know, with Tom Wheelwright. Those are my books. And then my movie has been Sinners. Have you seen Sinners?
No, I haven't.
Gotta check that out.
I will.
Put that one on your to-do list, because honestly, especially in the journey, you got to invite people in. That's all I'm going to say. You got to invite people in regards to that. So, Zach, thank you so much. I'm rounding third in regards to just kind of getting you out of here. And so I wanted to ask you the question. If you could tell yourself, your younger self, and go back in time, right? Give yourself one piece of advice. What would that advice be? And what would it be? The younger Zach.
I'm gonna fall back on Ed Milet, The Power of One More. If I could go back to my younger self, I would tell myself, just try one more time, just one more time. And didn't even realize that until about 1.5 years ago when I was doing something, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try this one more time, and it worked. And so had I given up, it wouldn't have worked. And so just try one more time, and don't worry about the next times. Just one more time. That's it.
I love it. I say a lot, keep going within this thing, because you don't know what's tomorrow. We know what yesterday looks like, but if you just keep going through it all, you just never know. Try one more time. I love that, Zach. I love that. So if you could have one word to describe your brand or legacy, what would that one word be?
Giving. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Zach.
That's all right. Yeah, that's the most important thing for us, is just leave a trail of giving.
Thank you so much, Zach, in regards to just having the opportunity to hear a little bit about your story, you being candid and open with us, sharing your testimony, sharing like in regards to just how you've grown to get where you are right now. So I wanted to give you a moment to, if there's anything, because we're going to be a billionaire brand, and this is just the beginning of the actual of the story, because it does start with your mindset, but you have to put in the work and the action in it. And you literally said yes to me. And that's something that I appreciate, Zach, that you have no idea how instrumental that means to me, for real. But if you had anything to say to our audience today about Zack Jenkins and just kind of signing off in regards to your final words, I want to give you that opportunity as well.
I would say the most powerful investment you'll ever make is in yourself. And it could be, you're going to have me emotional here. It could be like the small stuff. Like, for example, on Father's Day, we went out, we did mini golf with the kids, and then we went to dinner, and my son was like, Dad, thanks so much for the time together. And, so I've learned over the years, again, this goes back to giving and investing in yourself. I have like a stack of water bottles I drink from throughout the day, and I don't want to keep buying them from the store, so I'll refill them from the fridge. But I was gone over the weekend on Saturday recording, and my oldest son filled them up. Mm-hmm. And I came home, I was like, dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Because it takes like 5 minutes of time, which I don't care. It's 5 minutes, but I walk in and it's done. And when my youngest son heard me say that, he took it upon himself yesterday to grab them and fill them. And it's because he was looking for that, hey, thanks, great job. And so really the power of investing in yourself and other people, and it can be small investments in yourself, like just go sit by the water or the pool or something alone and just quiet time, and it'll change your perspective on a lot of stuff.
And then too, what's so funny about kids and Father's Day, I text message a couple of my cousins in regards to this, they have younger children. They don't even, it just like your story literally triggered this. People don't realize how much people are watching you on your way to your why. Even like people pay attention a lot, and I've noticed in regards, and I've been doing this digital marketing consistently for about 3 years now. And you get caught up sometimes maybe on the likes and the hearts and that kind of thing, but it takes you just literally that one person. Like Fion yesterday made my day just in regards to her just getting out there and trying. You don't know who's paying attention on the way to your why, and your sons paying attention to just that support. And that's what the pop does for me. Like Daniel and Nathan are crazy supportive. It's not about like what they can do for me, but I see behind you on the wall, you have believe yourself. Like you have to have that belief in what you want to do, but it takes time. And it's sometimes just a little bit of support along the way will help you get there. So Zack, I love that your word is giving. That's my middle name. This is the first time that we're doing this. And again, I do, before I let you go, I want you to say something about the importance of men in mental health, because again, just you doing that with Chaz and the guys that were there, I just wanted to give you that moment as well, because how important is therapy, or just being open and honest about, we've been through shit. And that's the truth, right? Now, now how important is it for a man to know that it's okay? And I wanted to give you that because you can say it and I can't.
Yeah. So to your point, that sign actually says invest in yourself. The next one, but it's gold. The next one is believe, and the other one's inspire.
Awesome.
And I've got another one over here that says there's no reason to be angry. So, but yeah, I think for guys, it's like, we fall short in two areas. If another guy reaches out to you because they're struggling with something, you either tell them they're soft, go figure it out, so on and so forth. So the guys aren't open to receiving, which in turn means the guys aren't open to having the conversation. And I'll leave you with a very powerful story from November of 2023, I believe it was. Yeah, November of 2023. I was running through my journey, and I had a gentleman, his name, well, he's no longer with us, but his name, it doesn't matter because I don't want his family I don't want it to be brought back up. So anyways, he called me, or I saw him, and he looked at me and he's like, Zack, why, like, how are you so happy? How are you in sobriety? How do you do it? And I was like, I don't know. I live my life hour by hour sometimes, and I just kind of let go and move. And he's like, okay. And he said, I really want to change my ways. I really want to change my ways. And I said, dude, I support you. I'm there for you. And so it wasn't but a week later, I was driving to go see my dad, and I looked at my wife and I'm like, no, we were driving around town. Actually, it was a week later, we're driving, and I looked at Kayla and I'm like, I really need to call him. Something in my spirit says I need to call him. I didn't call him. The next day went by. Again, it was like, I need to call him, but I got busy. I got wrapped up. I got caught up. And then after about 3 days of me feeling like I need to call him, the feeling went away because I pushed it aside for so long. Part of it was I didn't want to call him because I didn't want him to feel on the spot to say like, hey, I'm here for you. And it wasn't but a week after that is when I got the call that he took his life. And he tried to call me the day before, and I just like, I'll call him back. And so in that moment, he reached out. I wasn't there, but I also didn't do what I should have, which is reach out to him a week prior, 2 weeks prior. And so again, for the guys, if there's somebody in your life and you reach out to them, just be an open ear. Don't put up with the silliness, right? Tell them if they're wrong, but be an open ear. And for the guys who actually need to reach out to someone, just know if you reach out and they look down upon you, they weren't a good person anyways to begin with, and they're not going to affect your life.
But you got me choked up, Zach. Thank you for sharing that as well, because people don't realize how huge, like, your mindset, like, you got me emotional. See how we do that to each other? People don't realize how huge your mindset can actually be when you're in your bottom. And you may pick up the phone and you may not, but at the same time, if you do pick up the phone, and then of course, please know that everything happens for a reason. I know you've been through that whole process in regards to healing for yourself, but just everything doesn't, you're capable of doing things, but at times you might need a little support. And Zach, what you did today in regards to this here live virtual conversation with Adriane Mays is not only support me, is support men that are going to listen to, because I'm putting this into a playlist and everything as well. So I thank you for being so open, so authentic, so honest, being in the journey with me, as well as being my brother in the Passion Over Profits program. Because again, Daniel and Nathan are building something. It's more than just investing in yourself. It's investing in each other. And I can't do it alone, and I no longer want to. And just hearing things that we can impact each other and grow and build and help someone else along the way. So, my friend, thank you.
Thank you as well. I truly appreciate the time. I do. It's an honor.
I appreciate you, bro. So definitely, the only thing I ask is a testimonial after we get done. But don't worry, I'll text you. No worries.
You got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Zack Jenkins. Ah! That was so powerful, my friends. Oh, and what I'm going to do is something different here today. Like, typically I just get to talking after I finish my lives in regards to just how great and amazing that things are happening. But this past Sunday, Daniel had me go and watch a couple of podcasts, Dan Henry, as well as Myron Golden and Brendan Kane, that I was sharing with Zack Jenkins before we jumped on here today. But one of the things I wanted to provide now is 7 actionable strategies that you can take away from this live that you can go and implement today in regards to kind of just being honest and telling your story. So the first one I want to do is your story is your strategy. So the takeaway is start documenting the transformation you've already lived. Write out your before, after story using this simple prompt. I used to, whatever your pain point is, but once I provide the solution, I started to, and then show the results. Then share that post, story, or short video and tag me in the video at Adriane Mays. Because again, I want you to take action in regards to not just watching these live virtual conversations with Adriane Mays, but actionable tactics that can be able to help build your billionaire brand along the way. The second one is build before you broadcast. So you don't need to have all these fancy funnels as websites, but you do need a framework. So just map out 3 to 5 steps you took to solve your own biggest problem. That's your coaching blueprint. Now offer to help one person go through it for free in exchange for a testimonial. Like, I didn't ask Fion for a testimonial yesterday when she reached out in a DM in regards to just kind of getting some support and getting some different, opportunities. But what she did was she took action. We literally were DMing each other, and she went live today. So check out her channel, as well as she went live yesterday, and just learning how to be authentic and sharing your story. So the key thing is taking action and literally knowing that your support is there if you do the small things in regards to knowing that you're not alone. And that's what I love about our program. So map out the biggest 3 things that you actually had, which takes me to the third actionable strategy. Use AI to buy your time back. We actually talked about here today, my buddy, Chat GPT from the D. When we talked about Chat GPT, and this is actually something that is so instrumental in regards to kind of getting your billionaire brand going. Because again, why not know that you can actually have a tool out there that's going to help you build your billionaire brand, and then you can have fun with it. Like, I've named my tool Chad. This is Chat GPT from the D. And what I do is he helps in regards to my virtual conversations, my structure, any and everything with being the change growth process. Why not use AI to help you get there? So use AI to buy your time back and know that the future of AI is here. It's present. It's a part of your process. You can start with one tool such as the Chat GPT that I went over earlier, as well as something else called Freedom Funnels. Like Jonathan Montoya and what they're building over there, and that I have the opportunity to be a part of. It gives you an all-in-one ultimate tool that you can be able to build funnels, start your online business, and get started all the right away in regards to one simple aspect. Because again, if you want to automate your game in regards to being in the DM, like, it's fun being able to do it one by one, but if you're building a billionaire brand, you need a system. And Jonathan Montoya not only has a system with Funnel Freedom IO, it gives you a way to have all of your different solutions and seeing solutions to automating your in a DM with Facebook Messenger, with YouTube, as well as helping out in regards to all these different tools that you had in the past. It's covered all within one simple process in one platform, and that's Funnel Freedom. And you can become an affiliate. And that's just literally making money in regards to building your billionaire brand along the way. So use AI to buy your time back, automate your DMs, repurpose your content, and book calls while you sleep. Because again, that's the key to actually growth. The next one is go live with purpose. Going live is the secret weapon for trust and traffic. So pick one story from your journey. Today, Zack Jenkins and we talked about so many different things. We even talked about mental health for men, as well as just our passion over profits, like minds together, as well as Chat GPT, AI. We had a lot of conversation, even something fun, right? Him wanting to go to Thailand. I've never been to Thailand yet, right? But pick one story from your journey, tie it to a lesson, and go live for 9 minutes. Now, the reason I say 9 minutes is if you utilize YouTube is the platform that you can actually monetize your actual content. So your first step is, of course, is just to get started. Don't say, I don't have this, I'm not, I can't get started. But once you actually get started, you can actually monetize your content and be able to showcase and schedule and help people along the way in regards to building your brand. And that's what YouTube allows you to do. It's a free platform. It does take time and effort in regards to understanding how these things work, called algorithms, how you're building, how you're growing. But the key thing is, one thing about YouTube is it's a search engine. YouTube is linked to Google. And so when people type in things into the search engine, your YouTube can actually show up. So that's why I encourage people to actually take advantage of using AI and going live with a purpose. And like I said, built a playlist for all the live different virtual conversations for our brand. Next, position yourself as a paid mentor. The takeaway, you're already a coach. I am the captain. I am the AI genius. And you just haven't packaged it yet. Now, I've packaged it with the 7-day quick start playbook for authentic lead generation, but making a list of the 5 most common questions people ask you about real estate, if that's your niche, or whatever your actual passion is, that's your content and your paid offer outline right there. So it starts with you taking action. Lead with faith, not fear. And I say it all the time on my actual platform that faith without works is dead. So the key to growth is alignment, not hustle. I didn't know some of the things that Zack shared with me today in regards to just mental health and us being on the sobriety journey together. But start every day with 3 things you're grateful for. Like, someone in my group is actually connecting with me, Kinsey in Oklahoma, and we text message each other 3 things we're grateful for. We'll make comments or what have you. We just started. And you can literally then ask the next question, how can I show up in service today? Now, if you don't believe in God, that's okay. But whoever your higher power is, how can I show up in service? Making money in the billionaire journey is not about, I say it every time, right? It's about building the mindset to be able to help as many people as possible. So then post and create from that mindset, not having any pressure, because again, it's being you leading with faith and not fear. Fear is to face everything and recovering step, and then test it, tweak it, and teach it. So if it worked for you, it can work for others as well. So take one thing you figured out. Maybe it's a script, maybe it's a buyer consult, maybe it's objection handling, maybe it's a DM and turning it into a mini training or a digital download. Take that information and then literally make this an actionable strategy that you can actually build and grow and actually have for other people to learn from as well. Like that's how the quick book actually got started, the 7-day quick start playbook to authentic lead generation. Like, and I'm tweaking it again. Like change happens when change happens. And today I had an amazing training with Jonathan Montoya in regards to, getting the AI piece in my actual process. But the great thing is in regards to growing and building is giving someone a blueprint. This is the first step for people, is to have people run the play, suit up and show up, but having some type of way to have these things organized. That's what this provides for people in regards to the growth and building with Adriane Mays. So you're actually learning the 7-day quick start playbook for authentic lead generation. Telling your story, which is play number 6 in the book, is allowing you to understand how you can actually just be yourself, be authentic, and steps on getting there. Like I keep bringing up Fion because, again, she hit me in the DM yesterday in regards to kind of going live and being a part of the process. But one thing that she had me actually add that she doesn't even know, that had me go back to the table here yesterday, is, play number 9. And play number 9 is actionable results that you can actually do right now, scripts, in order to get started and, in regards to 3 minutes or less to tell your story, what to say, how to say it, and being authentic within it. So in regards to just kind of knowing that going live and having to post stories, the story is your system. That is your actual way that you can actually grow and build your brand. Because again, your next step is literally just to run the play. Pick one of these 7 actionable strategies that I provided here for you to go today. You don't need more conversations. Your inbox becomes your income when your brand becomes authentic and honest. So with my core marketing message being, I help real estate professionals turn their inbox into a consistent flow of deals using my simple DM method powered by AI. My friends, this is the strategy. This is the play. This is the way that I help people grow and build with their billionaire brand. But you don't have to do it alone. The great thing is understanding that you can actually build with purpose, build with a why, and you are literally not having to be in pressure. So drop playbook if you're watching a replay and actually got some value here today in the comments. If you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or send a link to my DM on Facebook Messenger and just comment playbook if you want a copy of the playbook. Because again, your freedom to change story, it's already started. It's already begun. Your inbox is about to become your most valuable real estate. And knowing that I will, I shall be victorious. Let's go. So I enjoyed today's live. And again, just having Zack Jenkins show up here today was a treat. And for the live conversations with Adriane Mays. And so next week we have June 24th, Catalina Galeano. She's going to connect with us. She's a loan officer with New America Funding, but she also specializes in credit. Credit being one of those sticky parts that people don't understand. And she works with some of our clients with Being the Change and Gaines Family Tax Services and helping build their credit in regards to their own different whys. So she's going to actually enjoy with us June 24th. July 1st, we're going to be talking to Melissa Green with MGJ Consulting Hub. She is actually one of the founders of My Wise, CCC Because We Care Foundation, as well as our consulting community Connect Consulting over 15 years ago. And now she has her own consulting hub, and she has been a powerhouse from Chicago, Illinois. And we're going to talk to her live in regards to being authentic, her story, where she's been, where she is right now, and where she's going in direction moving forward 2025 and beyond. July 8th, we have the honor of talking to Willis E. Blackshear Jr., Ohio State Senator, and called himself the People's Champ. This amazing, he's my little cousin in regards to, and my cousin's best friend, Eugene Watley, out of Dayton, Ohio. And my aunt, they live next door to each other in Dayton. And I sent him a DM and it was like, WJ, will you go live with me on July 8th? And I was like, he said yes. So we have an Ohio State Senator and the People's Champ. This brother is doing amazing things in Dayton, Ohio, in Ohio in general, and being authentic and being real. And I'm honored to be able to have him on our platform July 8th to talk a little bit live with me and talk about his story and how to show up in the community and what he's doing as well. July 22nd, we have the amazing Mike Brady with Powur Solar. When I was an actual mortgage broker with Being the Change LLC, now it's an AI digital real estate marketing company. But Powur is a solar company that literally helps in regards to saving on your bills. And they have an affiliate marketing piece as well. And Mike Brady and I have a consultation on Thursday. When I was doing Being the Change actively in regards to providing loans for homes, this was one of the affiliate programs I built with the Freedom Funnels with Jonathan Montoya or what have you. So Mike is going to share about what Powur Solar is, the impact of affiliate marketing and how real estate professionals can build their brand. And I had the honor of him on July 22nd being a part of our actual process. And then July 29th, I have a treat, Jack Miller with Jack's Digital Ventures. He is another brother of our Passion Over Profits program that's killing the game in regards to his actual opportunity. And he is actually an affiliate marketer in the program that he promotes is something called MAP. And MAP is literally, I got involved with MAP because I had some people in my DMs that are interested in understanding affiliate marketing. So the understanding what affiliate marketing does, the growth of affiliate marketing, that's what MAP does in itself. And so what Jack Miller is going to come to the stage with, he actually specializes in Faceless, his Faceless channel. And so I am excited to be able to have him, come on board, tell us about a little bit, because you don't have to be, face forward. And I'm going to show you real quick his Faceless channel on YouTube. But you don't have to be face forward in regards to your brand when you're building. There's a lot of people on content, especially with AI, that you can actually still make money online and you don't have to show your face. So Jack has done amazing with this actual opportunity. And, we're going to have him live. And if he can't do it live, we're going to do something in regards to even a pre-recorded, because I know that his actual message is going to help so many, not only real estate professionals, and he's killing the game and Faceless. So there's no excuses in regards to building your brand. And I want to bring all these different tools and these messages to you. And that is our plan. So if you missed any of our lives, again, you can actually get the link to, and I'm going to put it in the comments, the playlist for, Catalina Chou, who started off our live virtual conversation, this amazing digital marketer and designer, as well as the wife of Daniel Chou, our millionaire coach in regards to growing and building this billionaire brand of Adriane Mays. May 13th with Tanisha Renee and the realtor with Keller Williams Memorial, and telling her story. The most engagement, my real estate professional showed up, her family support, Keller Williams supporting and understanding AI and understanding social media and the power of your story. You have to check out this live if you missed it May 13th. And you can definitely check out the link that I'm going to post here in the comments here shortly. The amazing Jaquise Purefoy, today is her actual anniversary of sobriety as well, on the 17th. And the Purefoy experience, and she actually graced our virtual stage May 20th. And, she's been in the journey with me in regards to the sobriety journey and having clarity and one step at a time. But this live kind of tells this amazing story that this lawyer, U of M graduate, this powerhouse has transformed the world and is just getting started in regards to the rooms and her message and the things that she shares. May 27th, we have the power of Dalen Matthews and Aja Gaines, Special Giving Studio. And they both have worked with us, as Unica Gaines is my business partner and, in growth in this billionaire brand in regards to Being the Change and Gaines Family Tax Services and CCC Because We Care Foundation and and all of the different companies that we have, right? And her legacy, Dalen Matthews and Aja Gaines. Of course, they came and graced us on her birthday and talked a little bit of real talk with Auntie. Like gave me, some insight of what they're doing now, what it looks like in regards to their journey. What the one word, one legacy, that's where this whole started on May 27th when we did that virtual wall for her mom, Inika, in regards, which is, like I said, my business partner. We did that one word, one legacy, and I'm gonna show it real quick in regards to her birthday. And this is something that I was sharing with real estate professionals, that you can do something simple and easy for your clients that will allow them to say thank you, or have a referral wall, and you can use this as your digital real estate as a way that to actually show someone they care and give them their flowers while you're still living. Why wait until someone passes away? But we did this on May 27th. And we put this together in regards to being the change. And like I said, showing people what can be done in order to show that, hey, we love you. You don't have to wait until someone passes away to actually Google them. And like Zack said today in the live, we a lot of times what we do is we wait till someone passes away. If anybody Googles Adriane Mays, you're gonna get so much information about what my brand was about. And the one word that I actually describe myself in regards to, Inika actually describes her word as authentic, which is a part of why the actual playbook is called 7-Day Quick Start Playbook for Authentic Lead Generation. But my one word for my brand and my business is resilience. Because again, the being resilient is how we got here. It's, you can't give up on yourself. And if you give up on yourself, then who's going to give up on, who's going to actually keep listening to you? So that's what the May 27th was so amazing and impactful. And I'm so thankful for that. June 3rd, we have my cousin Joe Bosch, and he has the elite training camp that's going on that he does one-on-one training for athletes in the Atlanta area. And so he came on live, was authentic. He's a location manager, and he's doing so many great things. And I wanted to make sure that we showcased what he was doing in regards to his growth of his brand as well. So make sure you check out the replay, because, he's actually helping these athletes and has training where you can train with a D1 basketball player. That he was in the summer league with Toronto Raptors. He played with Alabama State University. He was in the SWAC championship. He went to Dallas Lincoln High School in Texas. He was an assistant basketball coach. He was with the YMCA. He did all these different things. And so now if you want one-on-one training, that's where you can actually do to take your basketball skills to the next level. So that's what we actually had the opportunity to speak with Joe and actually hear a little bit about his story. He's a homeowner in Atlanta. Like I said, he worked with Tyler Perry, right, as a location manager, and working on a film right now as well. It just listening to where people are, where they've been, and how they got there. That's what this whole channel is about. So I thank and appreciate Joe for supporting me in the journey and growth. And my guy, Jimmy Millen, last week, June 10th, 2025, JB Millen Consulting. And he's a mortgage broker that we both work together at the top mortgage brokerage in the world. And so we actually established that connection. Neither one of us no longer work there, but we have these different values that have been ingrained in us. And one thing that I can honestly say, Jimmy showed up and was able to let loan officers and mortgage brokers know the process and how the growth of your brand. It was a great conversation. So I want to make sure, like you said, check that out live as well, and subscribe to your girl. Like, this is just the beginning of getting started with the virtual live conversations with Adriane Mays. There's so many different things that I want to do and grow and build and that kind of thing. But I know things take time. And, it's so crazy when you start realizing that everything is aligned for you a certain way, and you just trust the process. Trusting the process is going to let you get to your end goal. And I want everything today, like that, just like else. You want all what you want. See how that works? I closed it out and I came back. So to wrap up, that was crazy because I hit the wrong tab. To wrap up, I thank you seriously for showing up here today. Virtual live conversations with Adriane Mays. And I thank you for the opportunity to Zack Jenkins for taking your time and having so many different intricate parts of understanding with your expertise and turning that into revenue, what that looked like and how you can actually use and grow and build and be the most humble you in this whole journey. But we fall and we get back up. And understanding that perseverance and figuring it out, that mindset, you don't have to do it alone. And that's what we're here to do, is it to do together. So drop in the comments for me. I just one word that actually describes how you can just make change, because you have that freedom to change today. There's no one and nothing stopping you. But this moment right here, this is your time. This is your chance to make an impact. And this is how you do it, is just be authentic, be you, be honest, open, and willing to be the best version of yourself today. Adriane Mays live virtual conversations. I'm looking forward to next week and forward as we continue to grow, continue to build, be the best version of yourself within these virtual walls. So how we in all lives, my friend? Hopefully you got some value here today. I hope to see some love in the comments. I will, I shall be victorious. What up though, Detroit? Deuces. Thank you so much for your time today. Keep going. Don't stop. And you do have the freedom to change. Let's start with your story and let's do it today. Let's go. Deuces.